Around 12:30 last night, one of our deputies was heading westbound on Cortez Road. This is the main road behind me here, and noticed a vehicle that was heavily damaged in the front, had been in some type of an accident. The tire was actually off on the rim, and so he initiated a traffic stop to figure out exactly what had happened with that vehicle. That vehicle did not want to stop. The driver then took off. This resulted in a low-speed pursuit that didn't last very long when he pulled up and hit a curb back over here. At that point, the deputy pulled along the left side of the vehicle and was sitting in the vehicle when his backup, another deputy, pulled in from behind, separated by a little bit of a distance. That deputy got out of the vehicle, and just as he got out of the vehicle, the car began reversing back directly toward the deputy. That is when shots were fired by that deputy, multiple shots, and then the car turned. The driver had been apparently hit, injured, but was able to then drive down a few more yards and came to a stop, which is actually kind of behind me over here. We are investigating this as an officer-involved shooting. The victim later died at the hospital. Is a black male, age 30, his name, and further information will be released later.
Any idea why that driver didn't want to stop?
We don't know exactly where he had come from, other than the fact that he was heading westbound on Cortez Road, why the vehicle was damaged, or why he didn't want to pull over and let deputies talk to him about driving with this rim completely exposed going down the road. So there's a lot of questions, and we are working two investigations. One is an internal investigation into the officer-involved shooting, and then we're doing an investigation into the shooting and the circumstances leading up to that.
Do you know if the driver owned this vehicle, or is that still under investigation at this point?
Information on the vehicle and information on the driver, who is now deceased, is stuff that we'll release later on. There's just so many details that we can't get into, which is very common because we have our internal affairs working the investigation on the officer-involved shooting and other aspects of the case. So it's just very early on in this, and there's not a lot we can talk about.
But your deputy's okay? The
deputy is okay. No one else was injured except for the occupant of that vehicle.
How far?
How far to the rear of the suspect vehicle was the officer when he started backing up?
We don't have all of those measurements. All of those little bits of details are still being gathered as our crime scene unit is still here. This is still very, very active. It's really hard for us to speculate, and we're just not going to do that right now as we're doing two investigations.
It's pretty quiet now, but this can be a very busy road. I don't know about 12:30 at night, but were there a lot of cars around, or could this have been a bigger safety issue for anyone else, any other drivers or anyone else in the area?
Traffic at 12:30, the way it was described to me, was normal, which would be light for that time of day. So those are things that were not unusual. Okay.
And how long will the road be closed?
The road has been closed since this occurred, so really during the overnight hours we had it shut down. This is Cortez Road, which runs east-west, and then 51st Street and 59th Street. So this section here needed to be shut down as this was a part of our crime scene. We're hoping to have this open somewhere close to 6 a.m. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.